the Dell Optiplex, the most popular budget gaming computer of all time. And this one was free. So let's see what's inside. So here we are inside of the 790 that we talked about earlier. And I did plug it in, and so it boots up, but there's no video. So I suspect bad GPU. You could see the hard drive activity, so I think it is booting up. And so I just wanted to go ahead and see what's in here. I've never had a 790 full-size tower before, so let's see, we have, it's hard to see. What is the wattage on these power supplies? Right, anyway, so the guy that gave me this computer, he said that it was his gaming computer, so he actually bought it as a gaming computer. And that's why I thought it would be interesting to see this. You know, usually you buy a Optiplex and then you upgrade it to a gaming PC. But this one, who knows however many years ago, was already upgraded to be a gaming PC. So there's a graphics card, there's an SSD here, and then it died. And I suspect, so let's see what kind of card this is. Oh, GeForce. Not sure what this is. But look, the power connector is from SATA. So that's not good. And I know people say not to do that, and a lot of people do, but I wonder if that killed the graphics card. It's not melted or anything. I guess I'll just have to type it here below what this actually is later, but it's old. That's probably not a good sign either. Look at the pins are all plugged. I wonder what happened here. There's this weird ring. Look. What's that all about? So I'm hoping that we can just toss in another graphics card and it'll boot up, and we'll show that part later. So we have the mystery SSD here. Let's take a look. It's kind of just taped to the hard drive, which is always fun. Take this out. It's funny because these connectors are so close together that it actually ends up holding the SSD in place naturally because there's nowhere else for it to go. So here's the SSD. Rogob. Scan the QR code to activate warranty. God, it feels like nothing. So that's probably from Amazon. And then we have the hard drive. There's the tape that was holding on the SSD. So we have a Western Digital Black, 500 gigabyte, manufacture date 2010. So there's probably not a lot of life left on that. Let's see how many memory sticks we have here. So we have 2 gigs. It's 4 sticks. Be interesting if they have, yeah, not bad, not bad. There's 4 2 gigabyte sticks of DDR3. And so, story about this, I didn't mention it already. This guy came over and he had a cyber power, a cyber iCyber Power, whatever those pre-builts are that they always review online. I buy power or cyber power, something like that. So he bought one of those after he owned this one. Also, the screwdriver is not LTT. Anyway, he bought this gaming PC a while back, and suddenly the video stopped working. And so he asked me if, because I had a 980 Ti for sale, he asked me if that would fix his problem, and I said I'm not really sure, because you don't know what the problem is, right? So what I told him to do was bring his desktop over to my house, and we would try the 980 Ti in there and see if that was the problem. Paste, actually still wet, so that's good. Somebody did something on this, so it's kind of, I mean, this is what you would do to a 790 right at this point, and it's already been done. But anyway, the story. So we put in the 980 Ti and it booted up, everything worked. So the card that he had in his system was this one. So yeah. His system came, it was a pre-built, the iBuy Power. It had some sort of AMD processor. I didn't get to see which one it was. And the glass panel case and all that stuff, and it had an RX580 in it. And he said it just stopped working one day, so we put the 980 Ti in there. Everything bolted up, it booted up, and he was very happy with that. And he said, oh, I have my other computer with me that doesn't boot up anymore, which was this one. So he said, would you be interested in it? So what I did was I gave him the 980 Ti for $60. It was originally listed for $80. And then he gave me the old gaming PC and the RX580, which it's weird because see how clean this is? Look how it's like there's no dust on here anywhere. When you plug it in, there's just no video. I didn't test it very much. Also, it's never been opened. So I have seen instances where one port will die. Like this port will just stop working, but you could use the other ones. I've seen a lot of cards like this have that same problem. So I'm gonna check that. Otherwise, I think it's just, bad, which AMD cards, that's why I don't like them very much. They just randomly die. But anyway, that's a nice score. So in my mind, the RX580 was a trade-in and this was free. That's why I'm posting this as a free computer, because he didn't want it. When he took it out of this car, I said, do you want it back? He said, no, I don't really want it anymore now. Because he was so happy that his old one worked. So now, what can we do with the 790? We're not going to use that, of course. Coincidentally, a guy called me today before I even started this, and he wants a computer for his kid to play Fortnite with, but to spend as little money as possible, which would be this. So I'm hoping what I'm hoping for, let's just see what's under here. Should be a 2nd gen something. Let's see. So here's the system after a little dusting. I think I still have to clean that fan a little bit. Cleaned out the CPU fan, reseated the memory. So I assume that the GPU is bad, right? And then I put another GPU in and that didn't work. And then I put another GPU in and that didn't work. So I don't know, it's kind of strange. I just took the GPU out, plugged into internal graphics, and now it's booting into Windows. So I don't know, is it possible that the PCI lane is damaged? It's kind of dusty in there. I don't see any, at first glance, blown capacitors or anything. So now that it's booted into Windows, let me try to put the original one back in and see if that works. Otherwise, maybe we just have to retire this guy to just being an old office computer again and no more GPU. Back in a sec. So we're into the system here, and we have the i5 2nd gen and 8 gigs of memory. I don't know why I said 16 earlier. But see if we can get the other GPU to work. So it's working. Not sure what happened there. And I've seen this a lot with old computers. Sometimes if you just take everything apart and put it back together again, like Humpty Dumpty, they start working. Because they've been sitting for years and moved around and jostled, and things get kind of sort of disconnected. So Optiplex 790 free supposedly gaming computer is now operational. So let's install Windows. Well, that's where the video ends. I was ready to install Windows and then it stopped booting again. And so I think this particular one is haunted or something. And I've already spent too much time on it. I have other projects to work on. So I'm probably just gonna post this online for 20 bucks and let somebody else deal with it. It's still just an i5 2nd gen, and with it acting so weird, I don't want to mess with it right now. So a sad ending to what could have been a nice gaming PC. I went ahead and just pulled out the GPU and the SSD so we can use it for something else. So, fail. We'll see you next time.